when I was learning about your career, it was kind of a walk down memory lane for me. I'm going to kind of remind you of this, see if you remember it. But I worked at Sirloin's Inn.
I remember it well. You haven't changed at all.
You're flattering me. I always kind of looked up to you guys because Wendy's corporate, for our listeners, Wendy's corporate office was right next door to Sirloin's Inn in North Little Rock, Arkansas. I was just starting Arkansas Flag and Banner. And for anybody that doesn't know my story, I worked a part-time job for 9 years to get that business off the ground. And it included a lot of restaurant waitressing business, which I just happen to love y'all's industry. The restaurant business and service industry is really fun. But Wendy's corporate office was next door, and you guys would come over for happy hour, and I would wait on y'all. And the excitement and the energy around you guys and the note-taking on napkins, I mean, it was like watching Federal Express be born. It was a really big deal. Talk about those times.
Well, Jerry Hamra, my partner, and I took a big leap of faith because at the time there were only about 150 Wendy's in the country, none in the South. There were two in Memphis, which is how I came into contact with it. But Jerry and I met each other. We got along so well immediately. We signed a deal, but it was really based on a handshake. And so we did our first restaurant on 4600 Camp Robinson Road in North Little Rock, and shortly built 2 additional stores. I opened all of those myself as the general manager and still supervised the others. And so eventually we just continued to grow in Arkansas and Texas, and had 25 Wendy's, 20 and 2 Sisters Chicken and Biscuits, and had a little over 1,200 employees. And we won what is called the Founders Award, which is given to the best franchise group worldwide. And at the time, there were about 2,500 when we won it. And so that was quite an honor to be recognized as the best of the best worldwide.
So tell us about Gerald Hamra. Is he just a great guy?
He was a great guy. We got along famously. I was like his son. In fact,
he was older, wasn't he?
Son. Yeah, he was significantly over. He was 30 years older than I was, I guess, 35, something like that. But just a really good guy. He had overcome something that was very difficult. He overcame polio. And so he had a significant limp and all that, but you would never know it. He always had a smile on his face. He was always promoting the business. Was just a really nice guy, very philanthropic. That's kind of where I got my philanthropy passion, I guess you would say. I've been on, I guess, 21 different boards or commissions in my life. And so he kind of inspired that.
How did you meet him?
I was working for Holiday Inns, and they had kind of drafted me to, at the ripe old age of 26, I was responsible for all operational input into renovations and new construction worldwide. And so I realized that while I aspired to be the president of Holiday Inns Inc. by the time I was 30.
Oh my God. No big deal.
Well, that was the goal, at the time. And then I realized that I really had more of an entrepreneurial spirit than a big corporate spirit. So I started looking around for different opportunities. And at the time, as I said, there weren't that many Wendy's around, but in Memphis, they were just knocking it out of the park. And so I literally went there to lunch one day, and I went, this is amazing. So I started doing these little calculations of what their average service times were, what the average check was, and said, this is a real winner. So I went to the guys that owned the franchise, and I said, I want to be your partner. And they kind of laughed, and they looked at my resume and what I'd done. And so we'd like to have you come to work for us, but we don't have any ownership interests. And I said, well, thank you very much. And so 2 weeks later, I hear from Jerry Hamra, who knew them, and we literally struck the deal to build the Wendy's in Arkansas. He actually had one under construction. But we struck the deal in a conversation between Memphis and Little Rock, Arkansas. A handshake.
What was he doing before that? Was he in the restaurant business before?
No, he was in the clothing business in a little town, Hayti, Missouri.
Oh.
And I had never been in the food business.
And you're from Missouri, aren't you?
Springfield, yeah.
So y'all had that in common.
Yeah. I was more, I guess, service oriented in the hospitality industry, and he was service oriented in the clothing industry. So
yeah,
kind of had the same mentality.
Working with the public.
Working with the public, loving your guests, loving your customers, taking care of them, going out of your way to please them.
Boy, that's a great motto. You can put that up on the wall at Taziki's. Okay, last question before we go to break. Do you eat Wendy's?
Occasionally.
Spicy
That
chicken
means
sandwich.
no. That means no. He doesn't eat there anymore.
No,
You ate enough to last your lifetime.
No. I still eat there. It's a little bit difficult because we were the best in the world. And so I have really high expectations and standards. So I don't eat there often, but
Their service has gone to crapola.
well, I wouldn't go that far. Let me put it this way: when you have 15 restaurants, you have other places that you would rather eat. How's that?
I'll also
well, there
say,
you go. Which you do. Is that
if
how many
you do
restaurants?
like Wendy's, small towns is where I hit up Wendy's. I think they do a really good job out in Brinkley. I think they do a good job. If you're driving out towards Memphis, small town Wendy's, most of the time I get a really good meal.
Yeah.
What do you think's the future of fast food?
Well, we're about to open Waldo's Chicken and Beer here in Little Rock.
Is it fast food?
It is, fast casual, but it's going to be bone-in chicken, rotisserie or fried. I think the difference is always going to be customer oriented. If you're serving your guests with great attitudes, people take notice.
But everybody's worried about their health now and the food additives that are in fast food. It's making America fat. There's no denial about that.
Absolutely. I think if you can offer a balance of items, it's some people are looking for keto. So if
What's that mean?
Ketosis diets where
keto,
you're actually wanting high fat, low carb, or some people are looking for gluten-free options, to cut out gluten.
Everybody's always going to eat chicken.
That's right. Hey, and chicken, it's lean protein. So I think it's here to stay.
Yeah. We hope so.
Safely.
We have been saying for years, we got to start selling freaking chicken. I cleaned that up.
Freaking chicken.
Selling
chicken.
Freaking
That's right.
chicken.
So
That's
finally
the name. That should be the name of your store.
we thought about it, but at any rate, we have one with a partner who is also our partner in Taziki's in Oklahoma. So we have one in Tulsa. This kick and tail. Notice I'm cleaning
Cleaned
up
it
my
up.
language.
You sure did.
Boy, Dad.
And we are really excited about opening this one in North Little Rock. We hope in March. We're under construction now, and we think it's going to be a great location for us, kind of a marquee type location.
Where'd you say it was? North Little Rock?
Yes, it's right where the old Carino's was. We tore that building down by McCain Mall.
Oh, McCain Mall.
And they're building a brand new prototype that my oldest son, Tommy, I really regret that he couldn't be here today. He just got held up in Northwest Arkansas on a construction project up there on a renovation we're doing to our number one Taziki's volume-wise is in Northwest Arkansas.
Really?
So
That's the one by the mall.
we're renovating
there, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I've been
it's on
there
Joyce
several
Street.
times.
Yeah. Just off of College.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you liked this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the picture of Kerry's face in the center of the screen. For more of Kerry's interviews, click either video on the right of the screen. And as always, thank you for watching.